Come on, come on. Come on. Where are you? Where's that dog? Come on, Monty. Come on, come on. You are a good boy. Hi, it's Steve Gaghagen here. I just wanted to take a quick minute and talk to you for a second in the midst of this beautiful Big Bear snow about your strategic business plan. Do you have one? Well, if you don't have one, and if you don't have it written down, and if you don't study it and return to it to remind yourself, then you can fall victim to what happens with a lot of people in our business of marketing online. And that is, they feel overwhelmed, they get discouraged. You know, things don't always go right. Things aren't always just wonderful. There are roadblocks. There are snafus that happen. There are things you find that don't work. Well, what do we do in times like that? One of the things we do is return to our roadmap, our strategic business plan. You've got to have one of these. If you were going to drive from Los Angeles to Nashville, unless you were going on the kind of road trip where you had no particular destination and no sense of urgency and no deadline by which you wanted to arrive, you would plan it first. You wouldn't just get in the car and start to drive and then figure out where you were later on. You'd get online and you'd Google exactly where you wanted to go. You'd plan the route out beforehand so that you would get there in the least amount of time with the least amount of energy expended, and you'd do it as quickly as possible. Well, that's why you need a strategic business plan in your online home business. Now, they're very easy to create. The blog post that accompanies this video goes into greater detail, but I can tell you really simply, to create a good roadmap, the first thing you need to know is your why. Why exactly do you want an internet home business? Why? Specifically, write the reasons down. What is it going to get you? What is it going to bring you? What advantages will you have? It might be things as simple as I'll be able to spend more time with my family. It could be I can stop worrying about money if I have more income. But be specific to yourself and write these things down. The next thing you need to do after you look at your why, and you have several things written down, is you need to actually create the roadmap. You need to sit down and write down specifically what you're going to do to achieve your why. And for every item you write down, and these items can be, very simple. It doesn't have to be really complicated. It can be simply, I'm going to promote my website and build my list using traffic exchanges, list building websites, and giveaway websites through email marketing. And you can say things like this. And once you get that done, and a couple of sentences written about every one, then you go back and prioritize them. What am I going to do first? What am I going to do second? What am I going to do third? Now, some of these things will overlap, of course, but you need to have some kind of a prioritized list. Now, when you've got this together, this is something that when things get tough and you start to ask yourself, why am I doing this? And where do I go next? And that kind of a thing, you've got something that you can look at and you can just spend a few minutes and go over it. Now, it's also a document that's never finished. It's a living thing. It's not just a static something you put in a frame on a wall. This is something where you'll be adding new things onto it. You're not the same person you'll be in 2 years. Situations aren't the same as they'll be in 18 months. New tools become available, new strategies. Old ones that you find might be on your list that don't work. You'll be changing things all the time. Here's a suggestion. When you complete something on the list, give yourself a little celebration. Have a little ceremony, a little removing it from the list ceremony. I'm done with it, all right? And always revisit your list, at least once a month. But any time that you feel that you're, pushing a chain uphill as far as your business is concerned, and those times happen to all of us, the best thing to do is go back to your strategic business plan and look at what's next on my list. If I'm not doing very good working at this thing, what's the next thing that I can be working on? If you have it there in your hand, you're going to be a lot better off psychologically and financially. So in the next couple of posts here, we're going to be talking about some other things along this same line that can help you when you come up against the kind of emotional and business walls that get created for us or that we create for ourselves. So please read the post down below. And if you're seeing this on another site, if you're watching this video on YouTube or on Vimeo, why don't you go ahead and click the link to my blog and read some more in depth about this. I've been posting a whole series of videos that people are saying are very helpful, and I appreciate all the nice comments, and I hope you return soon. So look for the next blog post, and in that one we'll be approaching this from a slightly different angle, and we'll be talking about how to create a mission statement, which is different. A mission statement is different from a strategic business plan. And we'll talk about that in the next video and the next post. So I'm going to get back to playing with Monty, and you guys have a great day. Come on, big boy. Come on. That's a big boy. He's that big boy. Are you going to get me? You going to get me, you dog? Come on.